So Kevin, thanks for joining us here at the Open Storage Summit. We are here live from the conference. Kevin, I know you have a very interesting use case at the university. So maybe can you share with us how you got started? What were some of the objectives towards moving towards an open storage solution?
Sure. The university is a unique environment as far as we have a variety of demands, many of which we don't necessarily have control over. We also are always dealing with limited budgets, so those are some constraints we have to deal with. Historically, we have a number of systems that were essentially siloed. So you have high performance storage and equipment in one area with excess capacity, and you have other systems that are just struggling. You don't have any capability to deal with that. My techs have told me, you've got we have something like 11 different storage systems. Managing those involves 7 different user interfaces. Just the administrative overhead on that is very difficult. We've done a lot to consolidate and simplify other areas, and our next step here was the storage. We haven't gone to VMware, and done a lot of work with our network infrastructure and so forth. Also, we have some demand coming down the line, substantial amounts of video storage, need to totally redo our backup solution, be able to do disk-to-disk offsite, that sort of thing. The current system just is not keeping up. And so with that, we had a need. It's been growing. I've been planning for about a year prior to the purchase of the Nexenta system, evaluating solutions. And we went to a number of different vendors and evaluating solutions, looking at the underlying technologies and capabilities. In almost all of those cases, they all had a nice solution, very good solution, but it pretty much did one, maybe 2 things, and it required you to really take advantage of it to essentially throw away everything you've got right now. Which, I suppose we could do, but I wouldn't be able to at best, I would just be able to replace that and not meet any new needs with the current system. So I started to research these different options, and actually started looking at ZFS as a technology first. Researched a lot into that, and I was very, very impressed. I'm unconvinced that ZFS, the technologies there are essentially what's going to underlie the future of storage. Whether or not, some vendors may take it, they'll probably, steal from it and implement it their own ways, but fundamentally that's the feature set that future storage is going to be looking at. Things that kept me awake at night as I was thinking about this was at the scales of storage we're talking about, RAID 5 and RAID 6 even, just can't do it. The reliability factor is not there. You start getting into some issues that had been theoretical at lower levels of storage, that you start getting into multi-terabytes, many terabytes, and those theoretical possibilities for data loss and just day-to-day operations become very real. And so I think that was the first revelation on ZFS in particular, looking at its data integrity features. Very exciting. And then, like I say, just going from there and putting it all together. And then we started looking at solutions that utilize ZFS. And there are a couple of commercial solutions, aside from Nexenta that we looked at, and Nexenta as well. And going through it, I was really impressed by Nexenta's commitment to open source technology. It's really a good deal for us. We've had a lot of good, as a university, a lot of good experiences with commercially supported open source technology. It really helps us keep costs down. It also helps us avoid a very strong vendor lock-in, which basically any of the other systems we looked at would require. So consequently, we ended up basically doing the RFP after a lot of research and a lot of internal discussions with my staff and with other members of our management team and whatnot, letting out an RFP, actually specifying the Nexenta solution. It was very easy to do that because there were a number of certified providers, and we just sent it out to all of them. It was a very interesting process. And ultimately we did settle that with Area Data Systems. They provided a solution. We'd gone through the RFP, and we couldn't actually order it till the fiscal year, which is the 1st of July. They delivered it basically the 1st of August, and that's when we first started bringing this thing up. And the first part essentially doubled our total available storage, except it's only one unit. And we started developing that, implementing that based upon plans we developed prior. So we were using it, basically all its capabilities, to present to various other systems. We have SIFs, SIFs and NFS combined. For block level, you've got iSCSI and Fiber Channel. We have an AIX system that uses Fiber Channel for its storage, and is currently backed by an IBM DS3400, I believe it is. That performs okay, but again, we don't have a SAN, so it's directly connected. It can't take any other interface. The AIX system we have is limited in that it can't take a 10 gig interface. So to get really the throughput we need to be able to support Fiber Channel. Our VMware cluster, we were able to expand it to 10 gig, redundant 10 gig interfaces on all of those. And we've used Brocade VDX series switches to build an iSCSI fabric. That was a very interesting option that supports iSCSI, FCOE, and a number of things. And it was a new technology as well. Actually, for them, it was the first in our region to purchase that technology. Anyway, and so we've put that together. We have the iSCSI fabric working, tested. We have the Fiber Channel from the Nexenta to our systems working and tested. We can present and create and that sort of thing on there. VMware integration went very, very well. Right now we can very simply just, essentially click of a button, we can migrate from current storage to the new storage, back again, whatever, do some testing. We haven't done production on all of this. Like I said, this just got in August. And we're just really a couple months into it. We're giving it a lot of testing before we go production. We're ready to start putting some of our first stuff into production on it here in the next few weeks. So we're really looking forward to that. It's also been, I think, one of the things that really excited me about work in Nexenta and Area Data was the fact that we had people who were really, really willing to work with us, and our rather unique use case. I mean, when I came out here, I had an understanding of what ZFS does, what it can do for us, and what Nexenta could do for us, and this is all the theoretical, abstract, ideas, but then being able to take that and put it into practice, fantastic. And then at the end, once we've got the data migrated off these old storage systems, the idea was to repurpose them, reconfigure them, and look at tying them back in. Now, it may be that we can't do every single one, but if we can tie anything in there, we can do better than any other storage provider offered to us at all. We have demonstrated some cases already, just functionally demonstrated on actually older equipment. That's performed fantastically on this older equipment in the test environment, which really, really helped to make the decision for us. The Nexenta Store Community Edition was an absolutely fantastic opportunity for us to build and test this. We put it all together on our own, no problem, and it just blew everyone away.
So Kevin, I know you have the legacy storage
Correct.
as well, where you were able to repurpose the investments that you have already done,
Right,
and still have a plan for the future.
exactly, and that's the great thing. We, as a university, and we're tight budgets and have been for a couple of years. We need to be able to get the most we can out of what we have and what we've gotten. And I needed some flexibility with the old storage, the ability to essentially take it and have Nexenta ingest it and manage it for us is tremendous. It gets rid of all these management interfaces we have, or at least a substantial number of them, and then allows us to put that performance where we need it. allows us to put the bulk storage, provide storage where we need it, instead of having these silos that are just mismatched as the demands change over time.
What advantages your team was able to get because of this?
Well, every storage interface requires a separate set of training, whether external training, internal cross training, a skill set that has to be maintained over time, and that sort of thing. And maintaining that across 7 different user interfaces is naturally a challenge. You're not going to stay good at all of them very well. To bring it to one user interface that you manage, it is tremendous. We like the GUI interface. It's very easy for us to understand. I don't know if we're a representative sample, we're very technical people internally, but we were able to understand what it was presenting very well. We also like the fact that we can, if we need to, go into the NMS console or even to the underlying operating system and look at what's going on. Look at the logs, run standard Solaris commands. I can run a snoop, or equivalent to a TCP dump, in there to see what's happening on the network if I need to troubleshoot it at that level. Similarly, the operating system logs, that sort of thing. It's very, very helpful. And so, again, that's even at the lowest level, that's a familiar interface to our folks. We have people who are experienced with AIX, Solaris, and Linux. And so this is, like I say, it's just the same sort of thing for them.
Okay. So if you were to kind of summarize maybe the top 3 benefits of going with an open storage model with Nexent Store, what would those be?
I'd have to say, honestly, the cost per enterprise gigabyte of storage was itself a very big factor. It is almost twice as effective as other solutions we looked at. The simplification of the management process for administrators. The ability to work with all our legacy systems was just tremendous and really a necessary function. And if I could add a 4th one in there, the performance capabilities of Nexenta and ZFS, even with the legacy hardware and so on, is just tremendous. Like I say, putting the old equipment on there, demonstrating that to people, how it performed, just blew them away.
Okay. Kevin, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
And enjoy the rest of the conference.
Will do. Thank you.